The year was 1965 and tensions between India and Pakistan had been escalating steadily since the partition of British India in 1947. The root cause of these tensions lay primarily in the unresolved issue of Kashmir, a region claimed by both countries. The ceasefire line established after the First Indo Pakistan War in 1947–48 had been a constant source of skirmishes and occasional flare-ups. In early 1965, Pakistan intensified its support for Kashmiri insurgents, hoping to incite a rebellion against Indian rule. This covert operation, known as Operation Gibraltar, aimed to destabilize Indian-administered Kashmir and spark a popular uprising against Indian forces. India, on its part, responded with a crackdown on the infiltrators and an increase in military presence along the ceasefire line. By August 1965, the situation had deteriorated significantly. Skirmishes and artillery duels became commonplace along the Kashmir border. The stage was set for a full-scale conflict as both countries mobilized their armies and prepared for war. Chapter 2: Military Strategies Unveiled. A. Western Front Operation Grand Slam and the Battle of Chawinda. As tensions mounted on the Kashmir front, Pakistan initiated Operation Grand Slam in early September 1965, aiming to capture the strategic town of Akhanur in Indian-administered Jammu and cut off Indian access to Kashmir Valley. This offensive, however, was met with stiff resistance from Indian forces. In response to Operation Grand Slam, India launched a large-scale counter-offensive into Pakistani territory in Punjab. The Battle of Chawinda, fought from 8th to 22nd September 1965, became one of the largest tank battles since World War II. Indian and Pakistani armoured divisions clashed fiercely, with both sides sustaining heavy casualties. Despite initial gains, the battle ended in a stalemate, and both sides claimed victory. B. Eastern Front operations on the plains. While the majority of the fighting and attention was focused on the Western Front in Punjab and Kashmir, the Eastern Front saw its share of military engagements. Indian forces conducted limited offensive operations in the eastern sector, primarily aiming to divert Pakistani resources and attention away from the main theatre of conflict in the west. Chapter 3: Naval Engagements and Air Battles. Naval engagements during the 1965 war were limited but significant. The Pakistani Navy, with its small but agile fleet, launched Operation Dwarka, a daring raid on the Indian coastal town of Dwarka. This raid, conducted on 7th September 1965, aimed to divert Indian naval resources away from the Western Front. Indian Navy responded swiftly, preventing any significant damage but highlighting vulnerabilities in coastal defense. In the air, both Indian Air Force IAF and Pakistan Air Force PAF played crucial roles. The aerial battle over Kashmir and Punjab saw intense dogfights between Indian and Pakistani fighter jets. The PAF, in particular, made early gains by targeting Indian airfields and infrastructure. However, the IAF quickly regrouped and launched counter-offensives, achieving air superiority by the end of the conflict. Chapter 4: International Reactions and Diplomatic Efforts. The 1965 war between India and Pakistan drew international attention and concern. The United States, the Soviet Union, and other major powers attempted to mediate and de-escalate the conflict through diplomatic channels and international organizations like the United Nations. The United States, under President Lyndon B. Johnson, played a crucial role in brokering a ceasefire between India and Pakistan. Both countries faced diplomatic pressure to halt hostilities and return to the negotiating table. The Tashkent Agreement, signed on 10 January 1966, marked the end of the war and provided for the withdrawal of forces to pre-war positions. Chapter 5: Human Cost and Civilian Impact. The 1965 war had a profound impact on civilians on both sides of the border. Cities and towns became battlegrounds, and civilians faced displacement, hardship, and loss. The war exacerbated existing communal tensions and deepened divisions within societies. Despite the hardships, stories of courage and resilience emerged. Ordinary people rallied together to support the war effort, volunteering their time and resources to aid those affected by the conflict. Soldiers on the front lines displayed extraordinary bravery and determination in the face of adversity. Chapter 6: Legacy. and aftermath. The legacy of the 1965 war continues to shape the India-Pakistan relationship and regional dynamics to this day. For India, the war was seen as a reaffirmation of its territorial integrity and military capabilities. The successful defense against Pakistani offensives boosted national morale and strengthened the Indian resolve to protect its borders. In Pakistan, while the war did not achieve its objectives in Kashmir, it reinforced a sense of national unity and resilience. The conflict also highlighted the need for Pakistan to reassess its military strategies and diplomatic approach vis-à-vis India. Epilogue: Lessons learned. The 1965 war between India and Pakistan serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unresolved territorial disputes and the potential for conflict escalation. It underscored the importance of dialogue, diplomacy, and international mediation in resolving disputes peacefully. As India and Pakistan navigate their complex relationship in the decades since the war, efforts at reconciliation and confidence-building measures have been sporadic and often overshadowed by recurring tensions and sporadic violence along the line of control in Kashmir. The echoes of the 1965 war continue to resonate in the collective memories of Indians and Pakistanis, shaping their national identities and influencing their perceptions of each other. The quest for lasting peace and stability in the region remains elusive but essential for the progress and prosperity of both nations.